Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look at something pretty special here. Victory Point Games has got their pre-production copy of Thunder in the East, and Alan Emmerich had brought it to BGGCon so that way I could take a look at it, and I'm going to share that with you guys as well. This is our first look inside Thunder in the East, the Second World War on the Russian Front, 1941 to 1944. This is Frank Chadwick's European Theater of Operations, Volume 1 in the series. There's going to be 4 games overall, with a 5th volume that's going to tie them all together so you can play one giant monster game. I do apologize that the shaky camera work today, so bear with me here. I'm using my phone. I'm not going to be using my normal setup at the house, but we're going to push through because this is worth checking out. So let's take a look at the back of the box. It says here, Thunder in the East is the first volume of the Frank Chadwick's ETO series of strategic level war games, covering all of World War II in Europe. Legendary game designer Frank Chadwick presents a player's war game, revealing the sweeping narrative of the Russian front using familiar and comfortable systems writ large in scope. With its origins in his classic introductory war game, Battle for Moscow, players will harken back to how we discovered our war game hobby, when the rules lived in the box for occasional reference and we spent our time over the map having fun every single turn playing a great war game. So that is the intent of this game, is to have a big giant game that has a really sweeping scope, but not something that you're going to be constantly digging into the rulebook to play. And we'll see how well Victory Point Games did with that. I'm pretty confident, being it's Frank Chadwick, but let's take a look at the contents here. And it says we get one 49-inch by 41 paper map in 4 sections, 13 sheets of 1,050 game pieces, 16 player age sheets and mats, 84 cards, 3 books, which comes with 1 rule book, 1 scenario book, and 1 reference book, 2 Axis black 6-sided die, 2 Soviet red 6-sided die, 3 custom 6-sided close support die, 9 custom gold 6-sided supply die for denoting supply sources and their ranges. Let me zoom in real quick on this. The complexity level for the standard game is rated as a 5. With the optional rules, it's a 6, and with the campaign rules, it's a 7. Solitaire rating is right between 7 and 8. And you can see here it's for ages 14 and up, 8 to 12 hours per scenario, 2 players or 2 teams. And this over here will give you a look at not only the map, but the mats and the cards that you're going to have, and the counters as well, and the dice. So that gives you a little bit of a look at that. And then there's a blurb here on Frank Chadwick, the designer of the game. So that is the back of the box for Thunder in the East, the Second World War on the Russian Front, 1941 to 1944. So let's now dig in and see what we get inside this. All right, tops off. The first thing we're going to see here is our rule book. Look at this binding. Fantastic job on this rule book. It is pretty darn impressive. And we'll come back to that in a minute here. I just want to get through everything else. We got our scenario book. We'll come back to that. And here's the ETO reference book as well. We've got a bag of cards. And let's see if I can get this open one-handed. I probably should have done this before, but hey, we're winging this, but we're getting a good first look. So, and you can tell it's on the bed here in the hotel room at BGGCon. So these are going to be your weather cards, different types of weather that you can use, and we've got overcast, winter, clear, mud, things like that. Here's a cool part about these. You flip them over and you can easily tell what type of weather it is, because each one has a little bit different look. There's winter, obviously. January it's winter. There's clear. We've got overcast again. We've got mud. There's some great mud look there. I love this one. Extreme cold. Really, really cold. And of course, we've got snow. So easy, easily to distinguishable by the image that's on the card as to what type of weather we're seeing. And let's get rid of these last ones. Put those over on the side. Now we have Soviet events. The Soviet events cards here are going to, give you different things that are going to be happening with the cards. Like this one says specialist. Set aside this card during your order of battle steps so that you can purchase specialist units this turn as if it were their first turn of the month. And then you have a little bit of flavor text down here, and then it says special acquisition rate 2 per month for the first week. So a little bit of extra information on each card, and something to give it a little bit more flavor, as well as what it does mechanically in the game. And this one, you have the nerve not to manufacture IL-2s until now. This card, during your order of battle step, to place any one air unit, not every air unit of its type, from among the next group of reinforcement air units per the Soviet display mat onto the destroyed box, damaged for free. So that's how that works. And then we've got, let's put these back on the side, and we've got Blitzkrieg. These are Axis events. We've got Blitzkrieg. This is going to say discard this card during your order of battle step to conduct a sneak attack or major offensive as appropriate. And then, of course, it has the case that you can reference if you're not sure what it means in the rules. And you have air offensives, Festung Ost, German generals, new model tank deployed, elite troops, Luftwaffe, Komau. We've got coal-burning civilian vehicles, strategic redeployment, and a host of others. We're not going to go through all of the cards. That's part of the fun of when you get the game. You'll be able to check those out yourself. Here is the big bag of dice that you're going to get. Actually, this is not the bag it's going to come in, but these are the dice. This is Alan's bag himself. And let me see if I can get this one open for us to check out. And we've got nice screen printing here. Let's see if I can get these to where they're not blurry for you. But nice screen printed dice. Then you've got embossed dice. All right. And nice embossing on those. They feel real good in the hand too. So that is a look at those dice. Now, the Kickstarter special, these are the tuck boxes that are going to come with the game. So you can put all of these cards over here into these tuck boxes. And this will be for Kickstarter backers, I believe, only. And then here's one small counter sheet. One of the cool things about these counters, check this out. You get these little finger grooves. So that way when you want to get them out, boom, they come right out. Beautiful. And these could be popped out real easily. As a matter of fact, I just knocked one out. So there's a look at these counters. Now you're going to have some nibs on the ends that you can trim off, but you don't have to worry about corner clipping because these are fairly rounded, not super rounded, but they're not sharp, hard edge corners. They're fairly rounded, like I said, and really easy to read. I mean, let's throw that over there. And let's see if I can. It might not be the best example, but you get where I'm going. Real easy to read. Nice big letters on them. Nice big numbers. It gives you what side it is, what unit, the size, the strength. Everything that you need is right there on it. So I'm going to pop this back in so I don't lose this, because that would not be cool. All right, so look at a couple more of these. We've got, I just knocked another one out. These are really easy to punch out, so this is going to be something to be careful with when you first get them, if you're not fumble fingers like me and start knocking them out. Okay, we've got a couple more that we'll take a look at. And that is a sampling of the counters that you'll get in the game. Good look at those. Now, here's where it gets real interesting. Lots of paper. And we've got a little look at Nemo's War, a little insert there from Victory Point Games. Great game. If you don't already have Nemo's War, definitely recommend getting it. And then we've got a couple more of these pieces of paper. This is the available theater reserves for the Axis and for the Allies, for the Soviets and the Germans. You've got your transport and cargo sheets as well for them. Then you have the casualty mat. This is where you're going to put all your dead units on here. You've got the combat results. We're going to come back to that in a second, but Here's your dogfight results table, and then the steps for air missions. So everything that you want to do with an air mission is right here. And then on the other side, this is the combat results table. Combat results are a little different, as you can see here. It's not just going to be simply attacker loss, defender loss. There are those, but then you also have attacker pressed. And at that point, the attacker chooses which of the following outcomes will happen. One attacking unit, the attacker's choice, is reduced, and then all defending units are retreated 2 hexes by the defending player, and one attacking unit may advance after combat, or 2, no effect. Then you have the no effect result. You have stalemate, exchange, defender press, which is same as the attacker press, just for the defender. Defender retreat, defender lost, defender eliminated, and breakthrough. Breakthrough is actually pretty cool because you have eliminate all defending units. Attacking units may then advance after combat up to the stacking limit. Then any motorized units, those with a white movement allowance, may advance after combat. The white movement allowances, let's see if I can find one here on these counter sheets. That is mechanized, and then yellow is going to be cavalry. So you can see here, these are mechanized units. Obviously, it's a tank unit, and you have the white number to denote that it is a mechanized unit. So, and like I said, cavalry will be yellow, kind of like that color there, because that's yellow. So that's a look at those. Then you also have these big, giant displays. This is the Soviet display, and there is the German display. This is all of the information that you're going to need housed on your sheet here. This is the Soviet force pool. There's your change, how you change units out. And then here is the resource track. And then up here, you're going to have your rifle core pool, undesirables, and you're going to have trading places. And then over here for the Germans, you're going to have similar type of situation. You got your resource track down here. You've got core remnants, partisans, your Axis force pool down here, change, how you change out your units. And then you've got the Wehrmacht motorization or mobilization. Oh, no, motorization. I was right the first time. Hungarian Home Army. And then you have all of these different arrival and withdrawal units, border key, listed up top. So that is a look at the 2-player mats. And these are big. I mean, these are pretty much the full length of the box. So that gives you an idea of what those look. Now this is just beautiful. Sorry here while I bounce things around. I apologize for how I'm moving my hands right now, but this is what happens when you don't have your regular camera and your tripod. So this is a look at the map in the different sections. I'm not going to lay them out specifically to the theater itself, but I just want to get them out here on the bed and let you guys take a look at them. First thing that I noticed right away, let's see if I can show you. This is, you can probably hear it, nice thick heavy cardstock. So this is going to be, that's a good look at the cardstock right there. Really nice and beautiful. I really, really dig this terrain on this map. It's Tim Allen map, so of course it's going to be gorgeous. Look at the differences in the blue. I really like that. So when it's deeper water, it's going to be a deeper blue. As you get closer to the shore and you have more shallow water, it's going to be a light blue. So really well done. Of course, you got your ports all listed out here, easily viewable on the map. And look at these mountains. Not only are they pretty, but they're functional. Here's the thing. This is impassable terrain, this white, right? So what looks like snow, and it is. Just remember, if there's snow, it's a no-go. That's all you got to remember. You cannot pass through snow. Obviously, the peaks are too high, and so you can't go passing through those. So it's a nice visual way to not only make the game look pretty on the table and make it pop, but also to show you an important piece of information in the game. So that is a look at that part of the map. Well, let's get up here to Lithuania. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Now we're up into Lithuania, East Prussia, that area of Russia. Valdai Hills, Pripyat Marsh, and let's see, Moscow's over there. There's a better look at Moscow. And that gives you a look at the map. And it is really a sight to behold. This is a fantastic production quality. I'm really, really stoked. Very excited to get this game in January is about when we should expect it. But I think Victory Point Games did a fantastic job with this whole thing. Not only the rule set and everything else, which we have not covered, so let's get over to that. But everything, that production quality is fantastic. This is the ETO reference book. This is what you're going to need to look at when you want to see, okay, well, what are these terms used in the game? Most wargamers, as Alan said, will understand what these are pretty much right off the book, off the bat. But every game's a little different. Sometimes games use unique terms. So if you're not sure, you can easily just look in here, reference it. It gives you illustrated examples of what each thing is, and you're good to go. And that is your reference book. Now, a scenario book. Again, well laid out. You've got your table of contents over here. It tells you how to set up the game on page 3. Page 4 is how to win. Then you have 5 is Operation Barbarossa. Then you have Operation Typhoon, Case Blue, Operation Uranus, Operation Citadel, and Operation Bagration. So right there, you've got 6 different big scenarios, and then scenario notes here, and then setting up the game. And the interesting thing is, here is, this is how you're going to set up. You're going to have your start lines. This tells you for each scenario what your start lines are. So for Barbarossa, everything here is going to be start line. For Typhoon, that's going to be your start line. Blue is going to be, it should have been blue actually, but I guess they didn't want to confuse people and make it think it was river. But white dotted line will be for Case Blue, Uranus will be orange, Citadel will be a brown, and then red for Bagration. So that gives you an idea of how that works. And then there is your deployment for the Soviets, and then optional deployments, and then the campaign game. While we're looking at this, I'm going to show you something that's pretty cool. They did some color coding here. And this right here, operational deployment, it's yellow, right? This for campaign is like an orangey, kind of a light orange. So when you look at the rules, which we'll get to in a moment, and on your display sheets, things like that, if you see orange, it's for optional rules. Or for the yellow, it's for optional rules. If you see orange, it's only for the campaign. So if you're not using the optional rules, you can disregard anything in the yellow. So that makes it a lot easier at a glance when you're looking at something. Again, just a nice touch and a smart setup here by Victory Point Games in giving us something fantastic and easy to play. And then here's Case Blue. This will give you a bit of flavor text to explain about Case Blue, and then your starting set up for weather and victory conditions, things like that. And then you have your actual layout for the Soviets and the Axis. Operation Uranus, the same thing, and all the way back to Operation Bagration, which is the final scenario in the scenario book. And that is that. And then you have your campaign game economic map and how the economics work listed out for you. Well, not how it works, but the starting economics and the starting resources here. Now we get into this Thunder in the East rulebook. And remember how I said before, look at this binding. This is just really fantastic. I love how it feels in the hand and how it lays out. Now there's your table of contents. Again, optional rules. There's orange. Campaign rules is, I'm sorry, I keep saying orange when I mean yellow. Yellow for optional, orange for the campaign. And as you can see in the back, when you go here to the back of the book, that's your orange. I just said it right that time. That's for your campaign rules. And then there's the yellow color-coded pages for the optional rules. So if you don't want to use the optional rules, you can completely disregard from this point on forward here. And that starts on page 61. So up to page 60 is all you're going to need for the game. 61 and on is campaign and optional rules. And everything is spelled out. It looks to be in pretty easy to understand format. There's going to be a lot of rules to digest, but not stuff. It doesn't seem to be anything that wargamers are not already familiar with. And there's some extra images in there for some flavor. You've got all the graphics on the side, and then also on top of going out to 60 pages, you know, instead of having just a wall of text on the entire page, you've got some other images on the side as an example, and the text itself does not take up a great deal of the page itself. So that also contributes to the fact of why there are 60 pages. Then we got overrun results as you give an examples, image illustrated examples here. Then on the bottom you got overrun examples to give you an idea of how that works. You got special movement phase, and I'm going from back to front, so I'm going backwards. But I just want you guys to get a look and see what's in here. Again, what's that, guys? Optional rule, because it's yellow, not orange, yellow. I got it right that time. So that's how that works. And then you've got your balance mode, attack mode over here on the top left. And then we've got improving pieces currently in play. Building pieces, putting them into play over here. And let's keep going through to the front. Now the rules themselves actually start, standard rules start on page 4, so 56 pages, but like I said, on the sides, these corners, or not the sides here, is going to have either images that are going to support the text, or maybe some call outs, some flavor informational bits right here, and then the rest inside here is going to be the actual text. So as you can see, if you did this like a wall of text per page, it would probably cut down the page count quite a bit. But you know, I'm just saying that for the people who might go, hey, 60 pages is a lot of rules, but I don't think people that are going to that have gotten this game are going to blink an eye at 60 pages of rules. This is the type of rule set we expect for a war game of this scope. And that gives you an idea what's inside Thunder in the East, the Second World War on the Russian front, 1941 to 1944. Again, guys, I really apologize on my crappy camera work today. I'm using my phone, but I wanted to get this out to you guys as soon as possible. Alan was gracious enough to bring it so I could take a look at it, and I will be digging into this a little bit more. And if I have any other thoughts on it, I will be sure to share them with you. But this is a rough video, and I appreciate you tagging along here and putting up with my shaky cam work. I'm definitely not wanting to make this like one of those bad Hollywood movies like that. But thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. If you have any comments or questions, post them below. I'll talk to you next time. See you guys. Thanks.